I decided I wanted to make my own gis like early on.
Yeah.
Back in the days, like when I first started training jiu-jitsu, you either had to buy like these really big overfit judo
So
gis,
bulky.
or you would have to wait for somebody to come from Brazil with a duffel bag full of gis. And when you're the white belt, blue belt, then all the higher belt guys, they get first picks, and like whatever's left is like whatever you get. But I used to hang out a lot with BJ Penn at the time, and he was coming back and forth from Brazil a lot more than I was, and always had new gis. And you know, we just shot the shit, and I just finally said, hey, I want to create like my own gi. And it took a while. I went down to Brazil, and I learned a lot there. They never expected me to speak Portuguese there, so I could sit around in factories and listen to what people were saying. And I had a camera phone on my my cell phone, like a Nokia, one of the first ones, and I would be in there taking pictures. And I saw what happened to Ed, my friend, now my business partner, with Gameness when he was using a Brazilian factory, and they just stole his brand.
Yeah.
And I said, whoa, this gi that I'm about to come out with is so different. If I do it down here, which is what I really originally wanted to say, yeah, it's a Brazilian gi, right? And so then I didn't do that. So then I ended up flying to Pakistan and taking all that knowledge and all the patterns and all the gis that I had, and really like teaching a factory in Pakistan how to make the gis the same way they were making the gis in Brazil, plus add all of my changes, onto it. I came from a pro snowboarding, skateboarding, like that, era too. So I, as the first one, I wanted my friends to have their own signature model gis, so Rafael Lovato and Jeff Glover and all those guys had their own, signature gis.
That stealing of gi patterns and that stealing of IP with gis is common. I've heard that story before from people getting started in the business, or whether it's a fabric or a pattern even used in the no-gi and the rash guards. I've heard of this. Like it becomes almost like people take your formula, whatever it is, for how they're making stuff. And in the tactical industry, you see it with the bags. If you look at like one bag company, they start to all look the same because they're all
It's called
sourcing.
R&D, right? Rip off and duplicate.
I've
had it out with some newer gi brands. First of all, I tried to help every gi brand out there that ever needed help, not get ripped off and go through all this stuff. But yeah, I've had people accuse me of like, oh, you copy, but I'm like, huh? Like I did this like 10 years ago. What are you talking about?
There's